Hey guys, welcome to PHT Café. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Edwin.
I'm Danny.
And I'm bringing you and Danny some information about real estate and things and stuff.
Man, that was always my favorite part of the episode is when you try to describe the other bullshit we talk about.
The BS Cafe.
Stuff.
So we're going to talk about, we're here approaching the end of the year, the end of 2022.
This is our end of year episode.
End of the year episode. It's been a great year,
It
right?
has, yeah.
In a lot of ways. In some ways it's been tough, right? The economy has been up and down. Our market, which is real estate, has been definitely up and down.
Yeah.
Our businesses have been up and down, but I feel overall it's been pretty good.
I've had, remember, I was laid off 2 years ago from my job.
Yeah, you were.
I started a business after being laid off.
Yep.
And I have made more money this year than ever in my entire life.
So I would say that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not, I'm going to miss goal because these last 2 months, dude, I'm going to miss it by like this much. But that goal was outrageous and I shouldn't have been close to it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
It was last year when I was
goal.
planning, because it's hard to plan like a goal when you don't understand your business 100% yet. Like you just started.
Yeah, the first year is
you don't know trends
impossible,
or anything,
yeah.
right? So I didn't really know what, but I was like, well, if I make this much and this is the trajectory, I'm going to say I'm going to make this much. And I got really close. And when I made it, I was like, this is going to happen. It almost happened.
That's good. So that's a good story.
Dude, and if the market wouldn't have changed, if the market would have waited till like January to change, I would have blown it out of the water.
Nice.
I would have blown it out of the water. But
Same here. Yeah. I mean, I'm hitting my goal, but that is thanks to the last 2 months because this one listing kind of came in.
Yeah, I was gonna say
photo finish, $2 million listing, which definitely helped me
I bet.
beat that goal.
Yeah.
But it was a difficult year as far as if you've never been in real estate, if you've never been in this industry, right? Because it seemed like it was one thing when the year started, and it ended up being something else. Right now, the market is a lot slower than it was when it started, but we spoke on the last episode. We don't know what is going to happen. But I think if you know what you're doing and you like what you're doing and you really put the effort that you need to in this industry, either in real estate and sales like me or in inspections, you're going to be fine.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
You just got to work hard and make it happen. So let's talk about goals because people, obviously at the end of the year, everybody goes into resolutions.
Their resolution phase for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to either lose weight or change my eating habits or go to the gym more often or whatever. There's a million things. Be a better dad, better mom, better parent. What are your goals? Be a better mom. Obviously, he can't be a better dad because he's the world's best dad.
That's true. It's scientifically proven.
It's scientifically proven. Yeah. There's a couple of questions out there, but scientifically, we've already proven that. So besides being the best dad, which you've already accomplished, what do you want to accomplish next year, bro?
Man, we got lots of plans as a family, as just me individually. Yeah, I don't do the resolution thing because it makes me feel bad about myself for the rest of the year. So it's like, all right, for now, for real. So I kind of just try to maintain myself throughout the year. But as far as business goes, obviously, I keep a regular Gregorian calendar for the business. So, we're not planning growth because, like I said, this year was outrageous. So we're going to try to, if we can maintain what we have,
right,
in this market,
right,
what we did last year, then that's technically growth because it's not just an instant. It was almost like. I don't think I was running my business, if that makes sense. I think the business was running me.
You were just kind of going with it,
yeah, dude. I started it, and I'm pretty good at business management because I've done it for so many years. So I had I can create SOPs and things like that. I'm very good at that kind of stuff. But when I started this business, dude, I felt like I just grabbed on and held on for dear life. Remember,
and it just took you on a ride, man.
It was 3 months in the beginning of the year that I barely saw my family. I was working all the time, working nonstop. Then I hired my first inspector, and that kind of gave away a lot of time, and which sucks because when in the inspection game, when you hire your first inspector, it's not like you're not doubling your money. That's not how it really works. Though you think of it, paying. It's a lot more insurance that you're paying.
Yeah, of course,
taxes
a lot more costs.
And all that. Yeah, there's a lot more costs that come along with it. But it gave me my time with my family back, which is actually all I give a shit about, is my wife and my daughter. So,
thank you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not lying. That's how I feel. you trickle in there. You trickle in there.
I'm in there a
but-
little bit.
Yeah. So as far as money wise goes, we're gonna just try to maintain what we were able to pull off this year and try to pull it off again, which is going to require a lot more work and a lot more actually like running my business and not just letting the market. You know,
dictate what you're going to
make
do.
me look like I'm running a successful business. If that makes sense.
That's similar to what I'm doing too, and this happens a lot with in any business, I think, but obviously I know real estate, so I know a lot of realtors that kind of happens to them too, right? Especially in a market like this where you put a sign up and then you're getting 20 calls and 10 offers and they're all above asking. There's not much effort you have to put into making that work. Like business is coming to you. And when this happens, when the market slows down, then you're all of a sudden like, wait, the phone stopped ringing. Oh yeah, that means you have to start making phone calls. That's I think that's where my focus is going to be more on next year.
Yeah.
Again, not necessarily growth per se, but just kind of being more proactive, just like you're saying, and create my business instead of just kind of waiting for the business to happen, because that's how it's been for me, for a long time, because I've been doing this for 20 years. The phone is always going to ring. Once in a while, it'll ring, right? And I'll get a business deal here and there. But when you want growth or when you want to maintain in a market like this that's so slow, you have to be more proactive. You have to start making calls. You can't just wait for your customers to call you. It's funny because I called a customer not too long ago, just kind of to say hi. Wasn't even a business call. I just called him, say hi, how's it going? Thanksgiving, whatever, happy Thanksgiving, your family and all that stuff. And it ended up, he was thinking about selling his commercial lot, right? And this was 2 weeks ago. And he was actually just calling. I already sold the commercial lot. And he referred me to another person that he knows, a businessman that he knows that owns another 20 acres of industrial land that he wants to sell.
Nice.
Right? But I don't know if I would have made that call if that would have happened. Because I was talking to Liz the other day. I'm like, everybody knows at least 70 realtors, right? There's 20 in their
Especially
family.
Right now. Especially right now.
There are, 2 of their neighbors are realtors. 20 of their family members are realtors. So maybe if I don't make that call, he goes to that other realtor that he knows. You know what I mean? So we have to be more proactive, especially you too, because your business base, your customer database is not actual buyers; it's realtors.
Yeah, I work for the buyer.
Exactly.
But realtors is where I get my
exactly.
business.
So if you don't call that realtor and remind them, hey, by the way, hey, I'm still in inspections. They know 20 inspectors, right, that are getting in their face all the time. So we just have to be more proactive, and when we do, those goals, we get met because we're actually in charge of our business. We're not letting it be in charge of us. That's great that you said that.
Yeah, it actually reminds me of, we used to work together. I worked for you in your real estate company a couple of years ago. And
some of the best moments of my life.
I hated it, but I'm sure it was the best moments of your life because I'm delightful.
Well, yes, it was fantastic.
I don't remember what year it was. 2018, I want to say, right? Like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, 17, 18.
Yeah, and we had to work. We were door knocking.
Yeah, door knocking.
And we had to work for every penny.
Yeah.
And I would tell people that when these new realtors started during the pandemic, and they were like, man, I'm killing it. And I'm like, did you wait? This is not how it is ever.
Have you knocked on any doors? Never once. Oh, okay.
Remember that?
Hold on.
Knocking on doors.
Yeah.
I can feel bile coming up just thinking about it.
So we used to door knock. I used to door knock. He used to be waiting for me 20 feet behind me with the backpack full of flyers, when I ran out. And recording me for some social media posts and stuff. Yeah. And I'm the one that used to get yelled at by the folks that had the little no soliciting sign out front.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's because you don't care. You'll go up and knock on a door and they'll rip into you and you'll walk away as if nothing happened. That's not me at all. That's not me at all. I was a door knock and they're like, why are you here? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I quit life. I'm a very shy person as well.
I was telling Liz about that time we were knocking in East Park. And remember that lady, you were about 10 feet away. And this lady opens the door and she's like, did you not see the sign? I'm literally saying good morning. Remember, she didn't even open the door. It was like a screen. And she put down the glass so we can at least hear each other talk. She pulled it down And then she opens, and she's like, "Did you not see the sign?" And she's like pointing to something down here. And I'm just like looking like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "That no soliciting sign." She had a little table. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm just here to tell you. I'm your neighbor because I used to live in that community. I'm your neighbor." No. Do you not see the sign? I'm like, yeah, but I'm not soliciting. Oh yeah, you are soliciting. And he's in the back just melting. Just like, "Can we just leave, please?"
Like, just leave her. She doesn't want us here.
And I'm just like, no, ma'am, excuse me. And she just keeps going off on, there's no soliciting in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I'm, "Ma'am, I'm just trying to tell you, I'm your neighbor and I'm having an open, listen, the sign, no soliciting." She just closed the door and we
She
just
pulled
left.
up the screen.
She like, yeah, closed the door and we just left. She had ducks. I remember she had ducks.
Yeah, that was the duck lady.
The duck lady, yeah. And he's just like, "Can we just be done already? That was like the second house. And you were just like, "I'm done."
This is terrible. This is a terrible decision.
Yeah. So those are the types of things you had to do back then.
Yeah, it was also like 90 degrees outside.
It was hot. That's
I'm a
also
very
why you were
hairy
melting.
person. Yeah, I was melting. So.
You in your backpack with the fly. He's just with a backpack with the flyers in his hand. "No, she want any flyers?" Let's just go.
I hated it.
It was great.
Oh, man. But anyway, so that's what you have to do.
That's what you have to do.
Yes.
Good job. What about personal goals? Any other? I mean, you're the world's best dad.
I am the best dad.
It'd be a shame to only give all that best dad love to just one child.
Wow. That's it. You knew I was going to talk about. So I'm not saying we're going to have a kid.
It's so much love.
So we told ourselves when this baby was born that we would, by the end of 2023, decide if we wanted to have another baby.
Oh, the end of next year. Okay.
The end of next year is when we are going to either get pregnant or decide that she's going to be an only child, which is really hard because,
Yeah, I know.
I have 4 brothers and I love my brothers. We
very
talk
close.
every single day. I see you guys all the time. So like keeping that away from her makes me feel guilty. And my wife also
loves that. Yeah.
And she has full-blooded siblings, half siblings, step siblings. Her dad likes love. Her dad, yeah, he loves
Her
love.
dad
that
loves
man.
love.
Yes.
God damn it.
So she's got even more siblings than me that she's very close with, and so she feels the same. It's like we personally would be good just having one kid, but is that like a selfish choice?
Yeah.
Like, is that would I want to keep that from her? And that's what I struggle with a little bit. Because I don't know if I can keep the title and then, not give her a sibling when I know how good having a sibling is. Here's a question, though.
Good, yeah.
What if she gets a sibling and he's like a dick? Like, what if that kid sucks? People suck. You've met people. We've all met people where you're like, you'll meet siblings and you're like, how did that one come out when the rest of you were so cool?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say which, but my wife has one of those. She has one of those where it's like, why does this one suck so bad? and it's that worries me.
Is he not going to watch the show because he sucks? Like he'll never watch this?
No, he's not going to watch the show. Definitely not. But the one that's cool will, and he'll be like, I know exactly who you're talking about.
They'll all know.
Yeah, they'll all know. They'll all know. So that worries me a little bit. It's
But even if he sucks, she's going to love him to death, dude. It's just the bond.
Yeah, that's true because Melissa loves said person so much. They're so close.
Yeah, in spite of
them sucking so
That's it.
bad.
That's it.
Yeah, so I think about that. But what about me? Will I love her unconditionally, but I'm not somebody who pretends emotions.
You don't.
If I don't care about something, I don't care about him. Imagine if it was my kid and I was like, this is my beautiful daughter and that fucking thing. Like I don't want to be that person. So that worries me a little bit.
Nah, you think.
What if they take the shirt away from me?
What if that's all you care about?
That's all I care about.
You just know what was the title.
That my arms look great in this shirt. I just care about the shirt.
Ultimately, it's just about his shirt and his arms. Well, I hope, obviously this is a year away for you to make this decision. So
Yeah, we still have a full year, which is great.
Can't wait to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's already decided for both of us, but we'll see what happens.
So hopefully in our final episode of next year's show, we'll get that goal.
We'll see if that.
We'll see what.
Happening.
Yeah,
I will tell you if I banged my wife. I banged her, and I banged her good. What about you? What are personal goals for you? What do you got going on?
Well, that shirt I'm not interested in anymore.
All your kids are grown. They like you enough.
Yeah, they like me. They like me. I already earned a few of those shirts. I have 3 of my own, so that's not part of my goals for sure. No, as far as personal goals, I'm in a great relationship right now. Our kids are getting along really well, like I mentioned before.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of kids. When I walked into your house, we had lunch together today. When I came to your house, there was like 43 stockings.
Yeah.
I was like, see, that's not for me.
We have a lot of kids. We have a lot of kids. We're a blended family, so 3 and 2, and they get along great, which is great. That was obviously that was a concern of mine. They get along great, and just travel. I want to travel. Yeah. One of our brothers, Tuti, he's traveling, or he's moving. They're moving to Sicily.
Yeah,
and definitely one of the goals is to travel to Sicily and make that trip. Liz also has a sister that lives in Italy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that'll be a great trip for us. So we have traveling as a trip, save some money, hopefully be able to buy a house, and investment properties and things like that on a personal level.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
Sounds fun, right?
Yeah,
no babies, though.
No babies?
That's the thing. I think about it because Story, she's 1.5.
Yeah.
And her cousins, like her youngest cousin is what, 9? How old are the twins? 9 or 10?
9. That's on our side. She has cousins on her mom's side that are much closer.
Okay, on our side. Yeah, but I only care about our side. So on our side, they're older. Like Melody, the one that just called, what do you call her? What is she? You told her to call her Titi Prima?
Titi Prima.
Titi Prima, yeah.
Which is Auntie cousin,
cousin. Because she's like 20, 21 years older than she is.
Yeah.
She'll never see her like a cousin.
Never.
Yeah, but they still love her.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's another, when you think about the siblings, it's like I also had cousins that I grew up with.
That's true.
She's not really going to have that too much.
She
has a few on Melissa's side, but
not a lot.
Not a lot.
So part of your goals is obviously increasing the amount of realtors you work with. Mm-hmm. What type of, because obviously you try to give, and you do give value to your realtors, right? Yeah. Obviously, number one, by giving a great service to those buyers and the inspection, all that stuff. But what type of tips can you give us as realtors, when we're showing a property? Because sometimes, we show a property, we don't see things that you see. Mm. And then when we get to the inspection, you tell us or tell the buyer something that would have been, kind of like a determining factor to not even putting an offer.
Yeah.
But by that time, we're already under contract. How can we avoid getting to that point? Like, is there anything you can tell us to kind of help us, things to look for, like when we're showing the property?
Absolutely, yeah. We have, there's things that are easy to see in a house. I think rule number 1 is know your client, right? So I assume already have them pre-qualified, because if not, you're wasting your time, and that's insane. But if you have 100%. Them pre-qualified, you know what they're working with financially. You know how much money they're going to be able to put down. You know what repairs they're going to be able to make. You know what's going on, right? So when you walk into a house, there's lots of things that you can look at that would hinder the deal in the first place, and you can kind of save them money. Like, so one of them would be like piping, right? So everybody knows what polybutylene pipe is, or at least we all do in Florida. Right. It's a piping that was used mid-'80s to mid-'90s, and insurance companies will not accept it. If the house is found to have polybutylene, you will have to get the house repiped. Mm-hmm. We're talking $10,000 and up to repipe, a 2,000 square foot house. It's bluish in color, plasticky, has copper fittings. Like, it's very easy to notice. To spot it, yeah. And if you want pictures of it, you can always ask me, or something that I offer all my realtors is, if you see something fishy in a house while you're doing a showing, you can send me a picture and I'll tell you what it is. Mm-hmm. Right? Because there's things that, obviously realtors don't focus on that I know, because that's my expertise. So that's one thing. Or if you're at a house and just look at the electrical panel and find out what brand electrical panel is, and just send that to either me or another inspector. Because there are brands of electrical panels like Federal Pacific or Zinsco that insurance companies will not accept. Yeah. You will have to get that done. And that is the electrical panel one is a can of worms, man, because they will tell you, okay, we're going to accept you, but you have to get this changed out within, X amount of time, maybe 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is. But then when the electrician comes in and goes to change those panels, you don't know what they're going to find. Mm-hmm. So you can easily get from, if it's a small, simple panel, $5,000, dude, that can jump up to $15,000 in a blink of an eye. Mm-hmm. And if you know your client,
they're going to be able to.
That's something that you can look at. And again, this is all just partnering with an inspector or a handyman or a general contractor that and just asking, like, hey, is this a poly pipe? because I know my client's not going to be able to do it. Or, find out how old the roof is. Insurance companies have gotten so insane with what they accept, even just since I've started. If a roof is 15 years or older and it's kind of like an asphalt roof, they probably won't accept it. And a lot of roofs in Florida are about 17, 18 years old, because that's when we got hit with all those hurricanes and everybody got their roofs replaced. Yeah. So a lot of roofs are that old. Just find out. Find that.
Yeah, that's in the MLS too. Yeah, just do a little bit of extra work.
Exactly. Just go that extra mile. Find out, and it's not even an extra mile. You're literally clicking one extra button. Yeah. Find out how old the roof is, because if you know they can't afford a roof purchase, that gives you something. At least now in the market, it's a little more leeway. But there was a while there that you guys couldn't ask for anything.
Yeah.
It was like, look, we're going to show you. You're allowed to go look at the house. You're welcome. First off.
You're welcome.
For seeing the house. You're going to go against 15 offers. If you ask for anything, we're going to turn you down. If your offer isn't 15 grand over what we put it on sale for, you're going to get turned down.
Yeah. Nowadays, if you want an inspection, you're going to get turned down.
Yeah, exactly. That was rough for me for a little bit. I got scared. I was like, wait, what? They're saying you can't have an inspection? Seems insane. But, nowadays, it's not like that anymore, right?
Yeah, you have an opportunity to negotiate a little bit more in that aspect.
It's actually hilarious, because the realtors during that craziness was like, I heard from so many realtors like, let's go a little easy. All right, because they didn't want to scare the buyer, but they knew they weren't going to get anything back. And I'm like, well, I can't do that. That's not legal. But okay, sure. And now they're like, listen, we're trying to get 25 G's back, so anything you can find in that house. Like, this is always just the inspection.
Yeah. So. How great does the market shift, and a lot of things shift with it?
Dude, within this year.
Yeah,
I'm talking
for sure.
February, realtors were like, God, I hope you don't find a single thing wrong with this 75-year-old house. And now they're like, bro, if somebody farted in it in the last 25 years, you need to tell me, because we're getting 15 G's taken off now.
Yeah. So. It's a whole different ballgame. Yeah. But I think it's great that you said at the very beginning, you said, make sure you know your customer, right? So for realtors out there, if you're starting out or not, whatever, you have to sit down with your customer and know who you're sitting in front of, right? Financials, and a lot of times, and I've had agents in the past, oh my God, but do I ask them how much money they have? Yes, you have to ask them. That's how you know what they can afford, right? How much are you putting down payment? Do you have any savings, right? Because that's how you know when it gets to that point that you're talking about, how can they afford to replace that electric panel? How can they afford to replumb the house? Because if they love a house, people fall in love with homes. And if they love it and they have those 10 grand to replumb it, they'll replumb it.
They will.
But you have to know, right? You have to know your customer by sitting down with them, having a conversation with them. Some of them are going to be uncomfortable, right? Because you're asking people about their personal finances, but you got to ask, because if not, then you're going to waste a lot of your time.
You're wasting everyone's time in that situation.
Yeah. So that's good. So awesome. So you have obviously more tips and more things that you can let realtors know if they're interested. If you're a realtor, or if you know a realtor, share this content and let them know that there's an inspector that's not only willing to do the best inspection, but also, even if they don't hire him, he's willing to be there, as a support.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else going on, bro?
That's it, bro. Here, I'll do your part.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for showing up. I'm so happy that you were here. If you need any real estate help, or you want to be a realtor, is that it? Are you recruiting? If you want to be a realtor, call me, Edwin J. Perez, at my company, Edwin J. Perez.
Was that good?
Asshole. That was awful. That was awful.
And now you do me.
I'll do you. Yeah. Cosmos inspections. You need one? Call me.
That was terrible. Very cool.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Happy 2022. And see you next year. 2023. That's the year. All right.